Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Real English Learning Podcast.
Today, we are going somewhere very special.
We are going back in time.
Yes, back to our childhood.
I love this topic already.
Me too. It always brings a smile to my face.
So, Maya, where should we start?
Let's start with the very beginning. Our home.
I grew up in a small town, actually.
Really? What was it like there?
It was quiet. Everyone knew everyone. There was one big park in the middle of the town, and every kid played there after school.
That sounds lovely. I grew up in a busy city, so my childhood was completely different. There were tall buildings everywhere, and the sound of traffic was like background music.
Background music. That's a nice way to put it. Did you miss having a park nearby?
Actually, there was a small garden near our building. It wasn't big, but for us kids, it felt like a whole world. We used to imagine it was a jungle sometimes.
Kids have such amazing imagination. I remember turning our sofa into a pirate ship. My brother and I would fight over who gets to be the captain.
Classic sibling rivalry. Did you have many siblings?
Just one brother, 2 years younger than me. We fought a lot, but honestly, he was also my best friend growing up.
That's sweet. I had 2 sisters, and our house was always full of noise, laughing, arguing, singing, you name it.
Were you the oldest, youngest, or in the middle?
I was right in the middle. So I got bossed around by my older sister, and I bossed around my younger one.
The classic middle child life. Did that shape your personality, do you think?
Honestly, yes. I learned how to negotiate very early. If I wanted the last piece of cake, I had to convince both sisters at the same time.
That's basically diplomacy training. Now let's talk about school. Do you remember your first day?
Oh, I remember crying so much that my mother had to sit outside the classroom for an hour.
An hour? Wow, that's dedication from your mom.
She always says that day was harder for her than for me. What about you? Do you remember your first day of school?
I actually don't remember much, but my mother told me I refused to wear shoes that day. I wanted to go to school barefoot, like some kind of tiny rebel.
A tiny rebel indeed. Did you enjoy school once you settled in?
I did, especially recess. That was the best 40 minutes of the entire day. We played tag, hide and seek, and sometimes just simple games with stones and chalk.
Stones and chalk. That brings back memories. We used to draw a hopscotch grid on the ground and jump from one box to another.
Was hopscotch popular where you grew up too?
Very popular, especially among the girls in my street. We had rules, arguments about rules, and sometimes even small fights about who cheated.
Every childhood game has its own drama, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Speaking of drama, do you remember any favorite toy from your childhood?
Yes, I had a small red bicycle. It had a bell that made this squeaky little sound, and I rang it every 5 seconds just to annoy my neighbors.
I can imagine the whole street getting tired of that bell.
They probably were, but I didn't care. That bicycle felt like freedom to me. I could go anywhere on my street with it.
My favorite toy was a doll my grandmother gave me. I named her Lily, and I carried her everywhere, even to the dinner table.
Did your family let Lily join every meal?
They complained a little, but eventually they just accepted it. Lily had her own tiny chair beside me.
Oh, that's adorable. Grandparents always give the best gifts, don't they?
They really do. My grandmother used to tell me stories every night before bed. Some were folk tales, some she made up on the spot.
Do you remember any of her stories?
One was about a clever fox who outsmarted a hungry tiger using riddles. I loved that story so much, I made her repeat it almost every week.
Poor grandmother, telling the same story again and again.
She never complained, though. She said storytelling was her way of showing love. What about your grandparents? Any special memories?
My grandfather used to take me fishing on weekends. We would wake up very early, before sunrise, and sit quietly by the river for hours.
Did you actually enjoy fishing, or was it more about spending time with him?
Honestly, it was mostly about spending time with him. I barely caught any fish, but I loved listening to his old stories about his own childhood.
That's such a beautiful connection across generations. Stories passed down like little treasures.
Exactly. Now, let's talk about food. What is one dish that reminds you instantly of your childhood?
Easy question. My mother's rice pudding. Every time I smell cardamom, I am back in our kitchen watching her stir the pot.
Cardamom has that effect on so many people. For me, it's the smell of fresh bread from the local bakery near our house.
Was it close enough that you could smell it from your home?
Yes, and on some mornings, that smell alone was enough to wake me up faster than my alarm clock ever could.
Better than an alarm clock? That's impressive. Did you often visit the bakery yourself?
Almost every Sunday, the baker knew me by name, and he would always give me a small piece of bread for free, just because I was a regular little customer.
Small kindnesses like that stay with us forever, don't they?
They really do. Now, Maya, let's talk about school friends. Did you have a best friend growing up?
Yes, her name was Aria. We met in first grade and became inseparable almost immediately.
What made your friendship so strong?
We were complete opposites, actually. I was loud and talkative, she was quiet and calm, but somehow that balance worked perfectly for us.
Opposites attract, even in friendship, it seems. Are you still in touch with her?
We are, actually. We message each other often, even though we live in different cities now.
That's wonderful. Childhood friendships that survive time are truly special.
What about you, Ryan? Any unforgettable childhood friend?
There was a boy named Leo who lived next door. We built a small treehouse together using old wooden planks and way too many nails.
Did the treehouse actually survive, or did it collapse dramatically?
It collapsed during a storm, unfortunately, but we were so proud of it while it lasted. We even had a secret password to enter.
A secret password for a treehouse? That's very serious business.
Extremely serious. We took our childhood projects very seriously back then.
As kids should. Now, before we go further, let's take a short pause for our word tour, where we explore some useful words from today's chat.
I love this part. Our first word today is nostalgic. It means feeling happy, but also a little sad when you remember something from the past.
For example, listening to old songs makes me feel nostalgic about my school days.
Our next word is inseparable. It describes two people who are always together and rarely apart.
Like Aria and me when we were children. We were truly inseparable.
And our last word for today is treasure, which we can use not just for gold or jewels, but also for something precious, like a happy memory.
I love that. Childhood memories really are little treasures, aren't they?
Beautifully said. Now, let's continue our conversation.
Maya, did you have any childhood fears?
Oh, definitely. I was terrified of the dark. I needed a small nightlight in my room until I was almost 10 years old.
10 years old? That's a long time to be afraid of the dark.
I know. My sisters teased me endlessly about it. What about you? Any silly fears?
I was afraid of balloons popping. The sudden loud sound would make me cry every single time at birthday parties.
Balloons? That's such an unusual fear for a child.
I know. My parents avoided balloons at my own birthday party because of it.
That's actually very thoughtful of them. Now, let's talk about family traditions. Did your family have any special traditions during your childhood?
Every Sunday evening, our whole family gathered for dinner. No phones allowed, just conversation and laughter.
That sounds wonderful. We had something similar, but ours was more about festivals. Every festival meant new clothes, sweets, and visiting relatives.
Which festival was your favorite as a child?
Without a doubt, the Festival of Lights. The whole street would be decorated, and we would light small lamps outside every house.
That sounds magical, especially through a child's eyes.
It truly was magical. Everything feels bigger and more beautiful when you're young.
That's so true. I think childhood has this special filter that makes ordinary things feel extraordinary.
Exactly. Even something as simple as rain felt like an adventure.
Oh, rain. I used to run outside the moment it started raining, completely ignoring my mother's warnings about catching a cold.
Did you ever actually catch a cold from that?
Almost every single time, but it never stopped me the next time it rained.
That stubbornness is very childlike and honestly quite charming.
Maya, let's talk about school subjects for a moment. Was there a subject you absolutely loved?
I loved art class the most. I could paint whatever I imagined, and there were no wrong answers.
No wrong answers? That sounds like a stress-free class. What did you usually paint?
Mostly houses with smoke coming out of the chimney and a bright yellow sun in the corner. Very typical child artwork.
Every child draws that exact sun with little lines coming out of it. It's almost universal.
It really is. What about you? Did you have a favorite subject?
I actually loved science, especially anything involving experiments. My teacher once showed us how vinegar and baking soda create a little volcano, and I was completely amazed.
A volcano in the classroom sounds exciting.
It was messy too, but the teacher didn't mind. She always said curiosity was more important than a clean desk.
That's a wonderful teacher to have. Do you remember any other teachers who left an impression on you?
Yes, my fourth grade teacher, Mr. Thomas. He was strict, but incredibly fair, and he always encouraged us to ask questions, even silly ones.
Did you ever ask a particularly silly question?
Once, I asked him why the sky doesn't fall down. He didn't laugh at me. He actually took 10 minutes to explain gravity in a simple way.
That's dedication from a teacher. I had a similar experience with my English teacher, Mrs. Kapoor. She made grammar feel like a game instead of a boring lesson.
Grammar as a game. I like that approach. How did she do it?
She would divide the class into teams, and we competed to find mistakes in sentences she wrote on the board. Whoever found the most mistakes won a small prize.
Competitive grammar. That's a clever teaching trick.
It really worked because I still remember most of those grammar rules even today.
Let's talk about summer vacations now. What did your summers usually look like?
Summers meant visiting my grandparents in their village. No homework, no school uniform, just pure freedom for 2 whole months.
I actually loved science, especially anything involving experiments. My teacher once showed us how vinegar and baking soda create a little volcano, and I was completely amazed.
We climbed mango trees, played in the fields, and in the evenings, all the cousins would sit together and share ghost stories that scared us half to death.
Ghost stories in the evening. That sounds like the perfect childhood summer.
It truly was. What about your summers, Ryan? Did you travel anywhere?
My family usually went camping near the mountains. We would set up a small tent, cook food over a fire, and my father taught us how to identify different bird calls.
Bird calls? That's such a unique skill to learn as a child.
I could only ever recognize one bird, the cuckoo, because it was the loudest and most repetitive.
At least you mastered one. Did you enjoy camping despite the challenges?
I loved it, honestly. No television, no distractions, just nature and family time. Looking back, those were some of the simplest yet happiest days of my life.
There's something about simplicity that makes childhood memories feel so pure.
Absolutely. Now, here's an interesting question. Did you ever get into trouble as a child? Something you got scolded for?
Oh, many times. But one incident stands out. I once cut my own hair with kitchen scissors because I wanted to look like my favorite cartoon character.
Oh no! How did that turn out?
Absolutely disastrous. My mother was shocked, and I had to wear a small cap to school for almost 2 weeks until it grew back a little.
A cap to hide a haircut disaster? That's very relatable childhood chaos.
It really was chaos. What about you? Any memorable trouble you got into?
I once tried to make my own soap using shampoo, salt, and food coloring, convinced I had invented something brilliant. It made a huge mess in the bathroom.
The bathroom must have looked like a science lab explosion.
It absolutely did, and my mother was not impressed at all. But she still kept the little colorful blob I made as a joke for years.
Parents somehow find a way to laugh about these things eventually.
Let's shift a little. What is one lesson your childhood taught you that you still remember today?
Patience. Definitely. My grandmother used to say good things take time, whether it's cooking a meal or growing a friendship.
That's a beautiful lesson. For me, it was the importance of sharing. My brother and I had to share almost everything: toys, snacks, even our room.
Was sharing difficult for you at first?
Extremely difficult, especially with candy. But looking back, it taught me to think about others, not just myself.
Childhood really does shape who we become as adults, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Now, before we wrap up, let's talk about one funny childhood memory each. Something that still makes you laugh today.
Okay, here's mine. Once I tried to bake a cake alone while my mother was out, and I used salt instead of sugar by mistake.
Oh no, how did that turn out?
It was disastrous. My father took one bite and his face turned completely pale, but he still finished the whole slice just to make me happy.
That's such a kind gesture from your father.
It really was. What about your funny memory?
Mine involves my grandfather's old hat. I wore it once and pretended to be a detective, questioning everyone in the house about a missing cookie.
A missing cookie mystery? How adorable.
I even used a magnifying glass. In the end, I discovered that I had eaten the cookie myself and simply forgotten.
The detective was the culprit all along.
Exactly. Case closed with a very embarrassing conclusion.
These stories are so much fun to share. I think our childhood memories connect us more than we realize, even with strangers listening to this podcast.
That's true. No matter where we grow up or what language we speak, childhood memories often feel surprisingly similar.
Simple joys, family, friends, festivals, and a little bit of mischief.
Beautifully summarized, Maya. All right, everyone, that brings us to the end of today's episode.
We hope our childhood stories brought back some sweet memories of your own.
If they did, we would love to hear about them. Share your favorite childhood memory in the comments below.
And don't forget to practice using today's word tour vocabulary: nostalgic, inseparable, and treasure in your own sentences.
Thank you so much for listening to Real English Learning Podcast.
Until next time, keep smiling, keep learning, and keep those beautiful memories close to your heart.
Goodbye, everyone. See you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone. Take care.